Well, hi there. This is Gordon. Welcome to Gordon's Garage. And I'm building the USS Enterprise, and I hope you're enjoying watching the videos as I do this. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It gives me motivation to keep on going. And for those of you throwing out likes to me, right on. I really appreciate that. Well, right now in this episode, what I'm doing is just building the hangar deck for the USS Enterprise. A very challenging model. Don't let it frustrate you. And if you enjoy watching me, I appreciate that too. So anyway, like I said, I did the hangar bay. Let me light it up real quick. There it is. It's a little small piece of this model and everything, and it's a fairly easy build using the tester's glue to put it together and everything, and doing some little light painting on it, and then choosing how you want the interior to look. Well, this video is on a little bit on how to do that. So I hope you enjoy the videos, and once again, for those throwing out likes and everything, right on. I appreciate that. It gives me a lot of motivation to keep on going. So here we go. Stand by for action. Okie dokie, we're going to build the hangar bay for the USS Enterprise. And we got our polar lights directions showing us how to build our hangar bay and the little features that go on. And don't forget to put your decals on and everything before you assemble it. Otherwise, it's really hard to get them in there. And we're going to follow our polar lights lighting harness on how to set our lights up and everything to create our hangar bay. And it's important when we look at these directions, there's little notes like in here for our polar lights harness, if you're doing lights, is to take out that little tab, and I've done that on my model over there. And they also give you another little tip to pre-paint a certain area of the model so you get good reflectability from your lights and everything. And I've done that also here and everything. So a couple little tips. When putting your model together and using your glue and everything, it's nice to have a glue tip. These are very handy. It keeps your glue nice and clean as you put your model together and keeps it from going all over. Remember, cut it off, don't break it off. You don't want to break parts of your model, and tweezers come in handy. And for our younger viewers or doing something, whatever model you're working on, if you have to cut it off and everything and use a sharp edge, remember you got your parents' permission, because cutting things off with our razor blades and stuff is kind of dangerous. So make sure your parents know that you're going to be using something like that. And for our experienced builders, well, we've already learned how to use those kind of instruments. Okay, so here we go to build the hangar deck, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's take a quick look at the light. Bingo! Oh, they turned on. That's hot. So I'm excited to get this put together. It's a pretty simple little put together, so enjoy the vids. Here we go. So here we are at the workbench, and we're looking at the layout now for the hangar deck, and we can see in the background here we have the lighting that we need to put in for the hangar deck. And then we have the directions here on how we can build our hangar deck. Now it's a pretty simple little build out and everything, and you have a choice in this kit between clear or solid gray. I'm going to use the clear, and when I've watched the show, whenever I've seen the hangar bay, it always had kind of a powdery blue look to it. So I'm going to see what I can do to hook up a powdery blue look using my airbrush. So I'm going to get ready to do that. I've already done some painting already. In this section here, you can see I've added the silver for the reflective capability of that paint. But here I want to use my airbrush, as I've been getting complaints from my household members on the aerosol spray. So let's do a little airbrushing and keep the fumes down. Remember, at all times, your safety. So always use your airbrush or any painting kind of stuff in a well-ventilated area so that you have nice clean air to breathe. Okay, well, let me get set up for some painting. We'll get that started, and once the painting's done, we'll do some assembly. Light will go in after that, and we'll see how it looks as we put it into the model. Okay, there we go. Let's get going. Okay, here we are, all airbrushed out, and you can see I chose a little bit more of an aqua color. I just like that a little bit better. I just like the way it looked and everything. I think it'll look good in my model. You can see the ceiling and everything. And in this case, I used a double trigger airbrush, which means that you push down to get air, you pull back to get your paint, and depending on how you stroke it, depends on how your paint comes out of the nozzle. I like a double trigger better because I feel it gives me better control on my paint flow, and it ends when I want it to end and begins, and I can also adjust how much comes out. So just a quick note on airbrushing and everything. And one of my later videos, I'll actually do some actual in the video airbrushing so you can see it happening in real life. But that's what I use when I'm doing painting and stuff, and the fumes stay down and it doesn't bother other people in the house and everything. So we're ready to start assembly as we finished our painting. Following the directions, we find out that we have to put some decals onto our hangar bay before we put it all together. So like most decals. They come on a sheet, you cut them out, you put them in water for about a minute, you take them out and you put them on the area where they're supposed to go. And according to what I'm doing right now is I'm doing basically the floor of the shuttle bay. So let me bring that print up. And you can see by our picture here that we're basically just going to put a little decal with a red square with a circle of yellow and a few little lines in there. And that would look just fine. I wanted a little more pop, so let me give you a little hint. As you work on models and stuff, you get choices of what decals you want to put on something, so you may come across where you get extra decals, and in this case I did. So for one of my old Japanese aircraft carriers I built, I had some decals, so I used this decal here. Now we've seen the picture of what it's going to look like if we follow just the directions, and that will be a very good look itself. But I'm going to add a little more pop to mine. So what I did was take out one of the decals and I added it on. Let me bring that up closer. Okay, well now you can see the red square, the yellow circle, but I added this little bit of lineage in here because I think that would look really good when I get done putting it together. And we'll see. But there's just a little tip that, like I said, if you have extra ones, don't throw them away. Hang on to them, because you may find a place where you may want to add something and go, you know what, that decal would look great here. And here I think this looks just dynamite, and it's going to look good when I get it all lit up. Okay, I'll be moving on, and we'll get together once I get the decals all put on and get the hangar bay put together using my glue that I get here from Testers. It's just your standard modeling glue and everything. And it works great because this actually bonds the plastic together, and therefore it won't fall apart on you and everything. So it makes your model nice and sturdy. Okay, let's get the decals on, get it thrown together, put some lights on it, and let's see how we look, huh? Okay. Okay, following the instructions, I put the hangar bay together. We're just taking a quick peek inside before I mount the lights on the outside. But I think that's going to come out looking pretty good. We'll see how it goes when we get the lights inside. Going. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, I like that look. Okay, let's get the lights in there. Okay, we've got our hangar bay all assembled and everything. I've put the lights on and I've got it taped up, mimicking the model surrounding it and everything. So that looks pretty cool. I like that look with the extra decals, and then looking inside, I like the way it looks. So let's get those lights turned on and see how that overall look is. And here we are. Oh, that is hot, huh? Look at that nice landing look. Oh, that's fantastic. Now I've rearranged the lights a little bit. I like them more in the back than on the sides. And then what I did was put a coat of blue paint on them to make them look like landing lights. Oh, I think that's hot. And then I changed the color of the ceiling to a yellow to add a little more reflectability off those lights and everything coming into the hangar bay. Oh, I think this just turned out really, really dynamite, don't you? And that was easy put together and everything, as we saw. Oh, now that's going to look really hot. And then when I build the shuttle and put it in there, oh, that's going to really set this off and just make the back end of our model just look dynamite. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Well, now we've done our hangar bay, so it's time to start working on the rest of the body. And once again, that'll be challenging because we're going to be adding lights and everything. So, hey, let's have some fun moving on in our model. Okay, there we go. The hangar deck. Looking fantastic. Looking real hot. We are good to go.